Merriam-Webster just introduced they as a non-binary pronoun.
Wait, I didn't know this.
Like literally this week.
Out of the loop. Wow, okay. Wow, I didn't know that. That's really cool. That feels really, wow, okay.
I think that's amazing. I personally have no problem with it.
I think that's great. It definitely makes people who are non-binary feel more part of a community and recognized. There's just such a wide spectrum in terms of gender identities.
It's so awesome. I'm so excited. I feel like so many of my friends who use they, them pronouns feel way more validated now that it's officially in the dictionary. I think it's been hard for some older generations to understand it, but I think really putting it in the dictionary is going to slowly help people use it more and understand it better.
Oftentimes, I feel like when we're talking about like trans people and non-binary people, where a lot of the conversation does revolve around pronouns, and that's because pronouns are extremely important, just as it is with names.
A lot of the conversations that I've had around being a non-binary person and why I feel like I didn't come out sooner was because they was a neutral pronoun that didn't have gender to begin with, and so I toyed with whether that was the right pronoun for me because I wasn't sure if it fully represented the fact that I was non-binary, not absent of gender, but specifically non-binary, of which are different to me.
Non-binary people have existed for as long as cisgender people have existed. It feels very empowering, especially towards the people that like to ignorantly, pretend like using they is something that just, because it doesn't make sense, they is, plural and you are one singular person. I think it's really like foolish to think that, so it feels very validating, and I hope for that to continue in Spanish. Spanish is so gendered, and there's really no space for there's not even a they to use in Spanish.
I think it would be worth looking into the English language and seeing what words feel really gendered and how we could maybe change them. I think there's a lot of words like dude or guys that some people find really gendered and some people really don't. So we might find some controversy there.
The dictionary is meant to reflect the language that we already use, and people use they pronouns as the best way to refer to them. And I think that it's a really important step that the non-binary community and people who use they pronouns are being recognized by such a long-standing institution.
Some people might say like, oh, it's just a word or it's just like this phrase or whatever, but people fail to realize that language actually holds a very, very powerful grasp on the way that we understand the world and the way that we further interact with the world.
Words are very important. I think when you get it wrong, you can really offend someone, even if you didn't intend to. But it's really important to use the right pronouns for someone, to use the right name for someone, because it really shows that you respect them and that you hear them and you see them.
Our recognition of gender identity is rapidly evolving, and as we grow in our understanding of the various genders out there, of course we should add more language to it. Of course we should recognize the language that some people are already using.